Good morning, boys and girls. It's Ivan time. I am all snuggled up on a chair to read to you. Find a comfortable spot and listen as we find out what's happening with Ivan. Today, as we're reading, I'm just going to continuously stop and talk to you about my thoughts, what's going on in the book, what's happening, where are they, maybe make some predictions, talk about the vocabulary, talk about what his thoughts are based on what we already know and making some inferences. So just listen and learn. Mac gives me a new black crayon and a fresh pile of paper. It's time to work again. I smell the crayon, roll it in my hands, press the sharp point against my palm. There's nothing I love more than a new crayon. I search my domain for something to draw. What is black? An old banana peel would work, but I've eaten them all. Not tag is brown. My little pool is blue. The yogurt raisin I'm saving for the afternoon is white, at least on the outside. Something moves in the corner. I have a visitor! A shiny beetle has stopped by. Bugs often wander through my domain on their way to somewhere else. Hello, beetle, I say. He freezes. Silent. Bugs never want to chat. The beetle's an attractive bug with a body like a glossy nut. He's black as a starless night. That's it. I'll draw him. It's hard, making a picture of something new. I don't get the chance to do that often, but I try. I look at the beetle, who's being kind enough not to move, then back at my paper. I draw his body, his legs, his little antennae, his sour expression. I'm lucky. The beetle stays all day. Usually bugs don't linger when they visit. I'm beginning to wonder if he's feeling all right. Bob, who's been known to munch on bugs from time to time, offers to eat him. I tell Bob that won't be necessary. I'm not finishing my last picture when Mac returns. George and Julia are with him. Mac enters my domain and picks up a drawing. What the heck is this? He asks. Beats me what Ivan thinks he's drawing. This is a picture of nothing, a big black nothing. How do you think Ivan is feeling? Honestly, he tried really hard. He had a new visitor, and he's excited, and he drew something new, and he's so appreciated. Julia's standing just outside my domain. Can I see? She asks. Mac holds my picture up to the window. Julia tilts her head. She squeezes one eye shut. Then she opens her eye and scans my domain. I know, she exclaims. It's a beetle. See that beetle over there in Ivan's pool? Man, I just sprayed this place for bugs. Mac walks over to the beetle and lifts his foot. Before Mac can stomp, the beetle skitters away, disappearing through a crack in the wall. Mac turns back to my drawings. So you figure this is a beetle, huh? If you say so, kid. Oh, that's a beetle for sure, Julia says, smiling at me. I know a beetle when I see one. It's nice, I think, having a fellow artist around. Stella is the first one to notice the change, but soon we all feel it. A new animal is coming to Big Top Mall. How do we know this? Because we listen, watch, most of all, we sniff the air. Humans always smell odd when changes in the air, like rotten meat, with a hint of papaya. Bob fears our new neighbor will be a giant cat with slitted eyes and a coiled tail. But Stella says a truck will arrive this afternoon carrying a baby elephant. Can you imagine? How are you feeling if you've been in this domain for all of this time and you have a best friend who's a dog and an elephant, and now a new baby elephant is arriving? How do you know? I ask. I sample the air, but all I smell is caramel corn. I love caramel corn. I can hear her, Stella says. She's crying for her mother. I listen. I hear the cars charging past. I hear the snore of the sun as it bears down on the wire domain. but I don't hear any elephants. You're just hoping, I say. Stella closes her eyes. No, she says softly. Not hoping. Not at all. So Ivan thinks that she would be hoping for a baby elephant, and she's not hoping at all. Why do you think she doesn't want a baby elephant to be there? But Ivan thinks that that would be a good companion for her. I'm thinking that Stella doesn't like where she is, and that maybe she doesn't want any other animals to be confined in that kind of space. My TV is off, so while we wait for the new neighbor, I ask Stella to tell us a story. Stella rubs her right front foot against the wall. Her foot is swollen again, an ugly, deep red. If you're not feeling well, Stella, I say, you could take a nap and tell us a story later. I'm fine, she says. She carefully shifts her weight. Tell us the Jambo story, I say. It's a favorite of mine, but I don't think Bob has ever heard it. Because she remembers everything, Stella knows many stories. I like colorful tales with black beginnings and stormy middles and cloudless blue sky endings. But any story will do. So black beginnings, stormy middles, and cloudless blue sky endings. Wonder what that means. I'm thinking dark. Not dark as in the night, but almost like scary dark. And then stormy middles where the story goes up and down and all around and there's so many things happening. And then the perfect ending. Wondering. I'm not in a position to be picky. Once upon a time, Stella begins, there was a human boy. He was visiting a gorilla family at a place called a zoo. What's a zoo? Bob asked. He's a street smart dog, but there's not much he hasn't seen. A good zoo, Stella says, is a large domain, a wild cage, a safe place to be. It has room to roam and humans who don't hurt. She pauses, considering her words. A good zoo is how humans make amends. A good zoo is where a human makes amends. So when you make an amend with someone, you're almost apologizing and you're making up with them. So if they're having this wide open area for animals to roam, they're almost saying, I'm sorry that we've captured you. I'm sorry that we're keeping you, but we're giving you the best that we can. And sometimes in zoos, animals are there because they no longer can go back out into the wild. Because once they're in captivity, they often can't go back out into the wild. So people in a good zoo give them exactly what they're used to, or the best that they can. Stella moves a bit, groaning softly. The boy stood on a wall, she continues, watching, pointing, but he lost his balance and fell into the wild cage. Humans are clumsy, I interrupt. If only they would knuckle wall, they wouldn't topple so often. Stella nods. Good point, Ivan. In any case, the boy lay in a motionless heap. While the humans gasped and cried, the silverback, whose name was Jambo, examined the boy, as if it was his duty, while his troop watched from a safe distance. Jambo stroked the child gently. He smelled the boy's pain, and then he stood watch. When the boy awoke, his humans cried out, Stay still! Don't move! Because they were certain, humans are always certain about things, that Jambo would crush the boy's life from him. The boy moaned. The crowd waited, hushed, expecting the worst. Jambo led his troop away. Men came down on ropes and whisked the child to waiting arms. Was the boy all right? Bob asked. He wasn't hurt, Stella says. Although I wouldn't be surprised if his parents hugged him many times that night, in between their scoldings. Bob, who had been chewing his tail, pauses, tilting his head. Is that a true story? I always tell the truth, Stella replies, although I sometimes confuse the facts. So what do you think Jambo was doing when he was staying right over the boy who had fallen in? Do you think that he would have hurt him? Or do you think he was protecting him and was making sure that he was okay before he moved his troops away? I think Jambo was a kind soul and was looking after the boy. What do you think's going to happen when the baby elephant arrives? Do you think Stella's right? I can't wait to read again tomorrow, boys and girls. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you in a little while for math. We're going to do some measuring and some comparing. All right, boys and girls, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the morning.